Oh my God, look at the chat already. Hey, everybody.
Speed read. Hi, everybody.
So who we got here? We got, let's go with, oh, that's you can. So we got Charlie. We got Jerry's in the house. We got Banjo Paul. Sally. Hello, Sally. Kim. Sally again. Cool. Already starting off with 19. Nice little group to get started. We got a couple of. I got an interview today that Joe did. Obviously, back when Loanne was alive.
I would hope so.
I would hope so.
Oh God.
So anyway, super nice lady. I listened to a little bit of it, and I enjoyed it. And so I think you guys will too. Even though, like, how did you put? She was married to a what?
A cocksucker.
Oh,
You're the one that asked. God Almighty.
oh my God! I got to make sure we didn't just get kicked off.
That's what I said.
No. I know. I asked you to tell me, didn't I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mouse on you. Jeez.
Mouth on me.
Yeah, you're the one. Cam, I hope that you're feeling better, and Joe as well, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had an interesting week this week, each one of us, and here we are. We had a good show, a nice, fun live yesterday, and we had a really nice radio show last night. In fact, it was so good we did 2 takes on the intro.
yeah. We went through 2 songs, and Rick says to me, "Oh shit, I forgot to hit the go live button."
I know. We were like, yeah, I did the intro. I did Johnny Be Good. It was into I'm coming home, and all of a sudden you hear me go, "Well, guys, we're gonna tell you that again."
Dead air. Dead air.
Yeah.
Oh, good fun.
Yeah, good fun. So, yeah, we got the interview. There's 2 videos, but I have a feeling that with the discussion, the way we chat and talk about things, it might wind up doing a 2-parter on this. But the second one's only 23 minutes anyway, so I think we can probably get them both in. But it's nice to have some little bit of upbeat, kind of an upbeat type of situation instead of sitting there listening to someone like Sunny or Dee or all that. You know, at least you get to hear a nice lady. And then, of course, the next week's book's going to be June Wanako. So, you know, we're putting up some stuff that's where you can smile and not get pissed or bummed or you know. Anyway, let's get over to the studio and we can get to going. All right, you got anything you want to say, Joe, before we start, or just run with it?
No, nothing. Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys, enjoy it. Chat. We'll stop. We'll probably stop every now and then on some points.
Well, here we are.
I really wanted to talk to you ever since I met you a couple of times, but it's so hard to get close to you. Everybody's always trying to get to you, and everybody wants to talk to you. Do you like talking to Elvis fans?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we have an understanding, all of us. It's like we speak the same language in many cases.
Mm-hmm.
And the Elvis fans.
You want to get your dog? Go get your dog if you want for a minute.
You may hear her from time to time.
That's okay.
She's trained to bark when someone approaches and the mailman's out there, and you know how they feel about mailmen. By the way, Joe, are you taping this? Are you recording it?
Yeah, just for me, though.
No, but that's fine. I was going to say, no, I like that. And you can do with this recording whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Because I like that, because then you know exactly what I say.
Oh, yeah.
And that way, it's not just an interpretation of what I say.
Right.
All right. I like to talk to the fans because we all know that.
She picked up some stuff from Parker, didn't she?
Yeah, it's funny because when she goes around like at certain events. She's followed by, well, used to be followed by Grobe and Sam Thompson. It would kind of look funny, you know. Another one, it's like they were a special because they had something to do with Elvis. You know what I mean? We say it all the time.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. They were all over her. You know, we
Yeah.
went to an Elvis event that she was at, all over her.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I just found that interesting when she said about the recording and all that. That just sounded like something you would hear Parker say. We're going to record this. I want it on record. You know,
mhm.
and I'm sure there's a lot of shit he didn't want recorded, obviously, but you know, he made it very clear. And but that's cool. Do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Elvis was probably one of the most fantastic talents who is ever going to live. And we know that the things that are important about him are his achievements. He was a man, so he wasn't perfect. But we do not dwell on his imperfections,
Yes, you did. Woman.
like people who are not Elvis fans seem to want to do.
Right.
It's a really sad commentary on our society today that people enjoy tearing people apart, you know, their reputations.
And it's got to be hard on you. It's got to be very, very hard on you, especially because they always seem to blame the Colonel.
I know. He wears the black hat. Elvis wore the white hat. I think that's partly because there is a tendency with some of the fans to want to make Elvis perfect. And he would have been the last person to want that. Feel free to ask me any questions that you want to ask.
Okay, let me see. Now, when did you first start working at the International?
I worked for the International before it was even opened. 𝗘𝗃𝗃 bought the Flamingo Hotel so that he could train the personnel who were going to be working at the Hilton, even so that we could work together even before the hotel opened. The hotels in Vegas would bring in their personnel a couple of weeks before the hotel, well, let's say they would hire them before their hotels opened, but they wouldn't really work together until the opening of the hotel was finalized. And it's tough to just start working with people without having any dealings with them beforehand. And this way we all learned to know one another. We were a good working team when the International opened its doors. In fact, we worked in the offices even before the air conditioning had been totally installed. And if you've been in Vegas in late June, you know what that's like.
No, I have.
100-degree plus. Every day it got hotter in those offices.
Yeah, people think Memphis is hot. Try Vegas.
Memphis has a humidity. We have very low humidity, but either one of them are real tough.
Now, what was your position at the International when you first started?
When I first started, I was a secretary. That was before we had assistants. Secretaries were secretaries, and we were proud of our titles. For the advertising and, we would call it marketing now, for the man who was in charge of marketing. And the hotel opened, of course, in July, and then in August I was transferred to the office of the president of the hotel, and I worked for him while I worked for the Las Vegas Hilton, the International, which became the Las Vegas Hilton.
And did you know right away that Elvis was going to be, the biggest casino, was going to have the biggest acts? I mean, what did you think about it when you heard that, Elvis was going to become? Were you a fan?
No.
You were. It's okay to say that because a lot of
I wasn't a fan. I don't say I disliked his music, and everyone was interested in this Elvis Presley because when he first became known, he was so different. It wasn't that I disliked his music or disliked him. I just hadn't thought about him very much, and I didn't go to the Elvis movies and the things a fan would do. And I was really surprised when I found out that he was going to be there because I thought, you know, he's been doing movies, but he hasn't been singing a lot in public appearances, and what are they doing?
Right.
But Mr. Krikorian, who owned the hotel at the International, had hired Bill Miller, who was very, very well known on the East Coast. And he was the entertainment director. And it was through Bill Miller that they were able to contact Barbra Streisand's management and Colonel Parker.
Mm.
So Bill Miller had an excellent track record. He knew entertainment. And when he said Elvis Presley, we just accepted it's going to be great. But
Yeah.
I don't think we could have imagined how super it was. It was, well, Elvis was just awesome.
Yeah.
Just awesome.
Now, how soon was it that you met Colonel Parker?
I met him in May of '69.
And what type of person was he?
Oh, well, he was very impressive. Colonel had an aura about him that it just radiated power. He had power.
Mm.
He was a man who was very comfortable with himself. He knew what he could do. And he just did it. If he had a goal, he didn't deviate till he reached his goal.
Mm.
That was the kind of thing that Elvis needed. Elvis was creative. He was extremely talented, we know that, and he was a wonderful person. But business was not something that interested him. They had a really good team. Colonel did not tell Elvis what to sing, and while Colonel discussed every business deal with Elvis, and Elvis had to approve it, Elvis was fine to say yes, no, and have the Colonel do all the handling of the business.
Mm-hmm. I have to close this window. I'm freezing.
Oh, please.
You know, I've got a couple of people on the computer here that I'm trying to let listen in a little bit. They're just friends of mine. And I'm trying to figure out an easy way that they can hear you too. And I just can't figure out an easy way without just holding this microphone up to my ear and letting them kind of hear you talk too. They're Elvis fans, and so if you hear a tapping, that's what it is. And
and I heard voices in the backgrounds. I knew someone.
That's them. That's them. They're in England.
Mm.
How did you first? I mean, the Colonel. He was. How was he? He was a good man. He was a smart man, a businessman, or what can you tell me about the Colonel that you think you'd want people to hear when you first met him?
All right. Well, number one, he came in with his staff, and it was not just his personal staff, but he brought someone from RCA Records. He brought someone from the music company, and he came in with a huge toy, a huge stuffed toy.
Mm-hmm.
The president of the hotel, who was Alex Schufe, had just become a father. And Colonel brought this huge stuffed toy for the baby. Colonel loved children.
Yeah.
We would carry toys in the trunk of the car. And I can't tell you how often, if we were in a grocery store and there was a fussy child, or if we were in a restaurant and the little ones were getting bored, Colonel would say to me, go to the trunk of the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go out and bring toys in for them to keep them occupied.
Mm-hmm.
He had stories that he would tell the children. He would sit and just talk for a long time, telling them stories. He could relate to children very well.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's something you don't hear very often.
Well, you know, he was a very private person.
Mm-hmm.
And today it seems if someone doesn't know the answer to a question, they fictionalize it. If you ask me a question and I don't know the answer, Joe, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that.
All right.
So what I tell you is, I'm certain of what I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Colonel's IQ, it's never been measured, but it had to have been way over the top.
How about Elvis's?
He had a photographic mind.
How about Elvis's? Was Elvis smart?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
They were both intuitive people.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you think it was incredible? You were on here, so you couldn't stop it. That who would ever think that Colonel Parker loved kids like that? Now, I knew that story because I know Charles Stone, and he just adored kids and would do stuff like that and gave money to, like Elvis did, gave money. Rick doesn't like what I'm saying. Go ahead.
No, I had to put my microphone back next to me. I was off. I just closed everything off a minute ago because I was moving my table. So just keep going. I mean, I like what you're saying.
Yeah, it's incredible that a lot of people wouldn't. If you said that to him, oh, he loved kids, he gave them toys and stuff. Oh, he didn't, but he did. So
Yeah, so somewhere that just seems. I've heard that before, but you're right. My impression was so freaking away.
yeah,
But then I started thinking about it, and him thinking what we've read about his childhood, maybe he feels that connection to kids because he wants them to have. I don't know. How do you get it? I'm not even going to try to play a Red, Sonny, and Dave Hebler thing and try to get into the psyche of Parker, but it's just
you just can't get past that. I mean, what?
yeah, it's
And it's a beautiful story. It really is.
but it gives a lot of credit to the man in one aspect of that we never knew of what he did. So he didn't do it for recognition.
Right.
So if that's what he was doing, then it was coming from inside him instead of saying, "Look at what I'm giving." It was just him and Loanne that probably knew what was doing mostly.
It was,
And maybe some of the other inner circle people there, Elvis and all that, but
you think sometimes, if Amy was here, she'd make that face like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
she's online listening, so
Is she coming? You best get your butt.
she's busy in a project right now.
Oh, shit. That's it. I'm going. Bye.
Oh my God, we're gonna throw some bucket of cold water on him in a minute.
Do you think that maybe? Well, I think that a lot of what you know about Colonel Parker is a thing he puts on. I'm not saying he's a nice guy and he's a tough guy, but maybe like here, maybe we don't know enough about the Colonel as people, should.
I don't think I would almost bet that even Loanne doesn't know. I mean,
Well, we do know he fooled around on his first wife.
well, yeah, that was. But I'm talking about his past.
Everybody's got a little bit of good in them, and you just saw it with what he does there.
Well, almost everybody. I could think of.
Oh,
I could think of one rat-haired guy that. Anyway,
I really didn't think that we were going to go there today.
no, we're not. That was all I'm going to say. We didn't say anything. I pleaded innocent of all charges.
This is all for entertainment purposes only. Our comments are our opinions only. We make no claims as to fact, and the viewer should make their own opinions. All opinions are welcome on Elvis-A-Z.
So if I say that he's a ratty-haired rat, then it's just my opinion only. It's not fact. Or it's probably not by fact. But anyway, let's go. So there's good in everybody. That was the last thing I remember. And somehow I got wound up in the UK. All right, so yeah, my perspective. There's just a lot of things I've learned about Parker in the last couple of years, especially with Gronic's new book. That I kind of had a different perspective about that book than a lot of people did, and it's just things surprise me when I hear stuff like this, and I'm with you, Joe. I'm almost like, no way.
Maybe he did in some way play up to the act of being the bad guy
He did.
in a way, because I can see how that would work to his advantage in
Right.
terms of everybody that had dealings with him was so shit scared of the
Yep.
type of person that he was,
Yeah.
that they would basically, not saying that they would just give in and say, okay, well, you can have your way, but it was kind of like, okay, let's do the business and get it over with so that you can get out type of thing.
But see, we all know about things that we will never forgive. The 50-50.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go to his funeral with the Hawaiian top.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. He just, yeah.
you know, how do you forgive that? She'll talk about that too.
Hey, Patty, how you doing? Yeah, you know, that's an interesting subject. We'll have to. I mean, that's an interesting point there that you're bringing up. I don't know. Let's see what other stuff that 𝗠𝗏𝗏 is going to shock us with.
Which, at the time that they were, and even now, intuition wasn't recognized the way it is today. We've moved to the point now where people recognize how important intuition is. I think both of them had the ability to recognize a person's personality when they first met them.
Mm-hmm. Did he talk a lot about Elvis? The early days of Elvis to you?
Mm-hmm. And especially Joe, the last couple of years of his life, because Colonel's health was not the best the last couple of years. So we spent a lot of time together at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I encouraged him to talk about those things, and which he did. I wasn't there in the early days.
Right. That's why I thought maybe, you know, sitting at home and just, you know, just kind of conversations, the older days.
I can't tell you how many times I tried to get a tape recorder going.
He wouldn't let you?
No, he would freeze up. The minute he knew something was being recorded, it wasn't that he didn't want it recorded. It's just that he had, like, stage fright.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a lot of people. I mean, the minute I say, you know, there's a tape recorder on, people go, you know, they're not themselves. I like an interview to be like just a friendly conversation between two Elvis fans, two friends, just talking.
That's right.
You know. So you talked a lot. I mean, toward the end, when Elvis obviously was sick, he would talk to you and say, "I'm worried about him" and stuff like that, or.
I don't think worried is a word that even conveys how concerned he was. He was so concerned, and if any of you have ever dealt with someone who has an addiction, you know the sad truth is the only person who can make a change there is the one with the addiction. Everyone around Elvis tried to help him.
Okay, Kathleen.
But until he could admit the problem, you couldn't help. At one time, Colonel he even left. You know, he told Elvis, I won't work with you anymore.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's pretty common knowledge. He had talked with Elvis' father, and Colonel said, you know, we've got to take some drastic measures. We've got to, because maybe this will help him, maybe this will shock him, and he will change. It didn't help, but yeah, that was in September of 1973.
Now, was that when Elvis said, okay, we're going to break this up, and then the Colonel said, but you owe me such an amount of money?
Okay, all right.
That was a different time, right?
No, this was the same time. Elvis, let me go back. There was a show at the Las Vegas Hilton where Elvis made some very derogatory remarks about the executives at the Hilton. In fact, it was a special 3 a.m. show that Elvis did, and that was on September 3. And I was sitting in the booth next to Colonel, and when Elvis made these derogatory remarks, and Colonel was very, very upset. And he said to me, he said, I wish I could just disappear. I don't know how I'm going to face these people. I have to do business with them. And after what Elvis has said, I don't know what they're going to say. So he had a discussion with Elvis about it, and Elvis was upset. He thought he was right. And so Colonel came back to the room, and he said he got a telephone call that Elvis wanted to see him upstairs. And Colonel was just furious about the whole thing, and he said to me, I can't work with him anymore. I just can't. This is totally out of control. I can't do this.
Come on now. Come on now. Jeez. I don't believe that one. Sorry.
Yeah, that's why I paused it. I'm still swallowing my.
I don't believe that one.
No.
Something he told her.
No. It might have been what he told her. Of course, the situation required him to say that kind of thing. But he would never have left.
No.
He would never have left based on Elvis losing his shit about stuff, which he was entitled to do, I think, at that time, because he'd taken so much shit anyway up to that point. But yeah, I'm with you, Joe. Cash in that lotto ticket on a few questionable statements. Hell no.
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 All right, Loanne's 1 for 1. Was the Colonel controlling with his wife like he was with Elvis?
I would think, in a certain extent, yes.
Yeah, I would say he probably was. Yeah.
He told what he wanted to tell, and he showed what he wanted to show. We all know he was an expert at that by that time. So he could have portrayed night and day to her, and she wouldn't have known the difference. So do I honestly believe that he was his honest 100% self all the time? No.
Yeah. This is on the phone, but I knew her several times in Las Vegas. That's why I said you could never get close to her, stay with her enough to be able to do some kind of an interview. So I forgot this was on the phone myself.
Yeah.
She's a nice lady. She just has terrible taste in men.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree that she wasn't a nice lady. I think, unfortunately for her, she was stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Did you see the message from Amy, Joe?
She's commenting, she loves me dearly.
She said, Joe, Larry texted me back. I sent it to you.
Oh, thank you so. Thank you so. You think maybe some of it had to Lorraine, still a little money?
Maybe.
I mean, you know who Colonel Parker is. You know who he's the manager of.
That might have not been her sole intention, but I think it had its benefits. It must have.
Yeah.
But was she as focused as the Colonel was on money? No, I don't think so.
Well, I want to find out how he talked her into going out with him. I mean, that would be great. Yes, I've at home and blah 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 blah. I'd love to hear how that came about. I didn't think I could get away with it though.
You don't think money had to do with it?
I think a bit, yeah. So does Kim. Rick?
What? No, I'm reading the text. Amy sent you another message. No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to let you know. I didn't know if you saw the messages.
I hate to disagree, but I don't think that research rabbit hole is going to stay a rabbit hole for long. If Amy's down that research rabbit hole, it's gonna end up a research Grand Canyon.
What happened?
I don't know. I think.
Oh, we lost Joe. Oh, okay. All of a sudden, it just like went dead. The sound and his fan's on. That's why. I don't have full. She sounded like a nice lady and everything, but some of her mannerisms when a question is asked, it doesn't come straight out. If you know the answer as for truth, It just comes right out. I mean, people, I a lot, not, and stutter a lot, but still, it's the way she does it. You could tell it's for thought. How am I going to answer this real quick in the right way? Because she obviously does not want to ever say a bad word about the colonel.
No, but I'm with you in terms of I think she's still stuck in that protective.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I think she's just feels like for some reason she owes it to him, and it just goes to show you that that type of love or whatever it was that she had outweighs the good that should be done by saying the truth.
You know, go ahead.
Kudos to her for sticking up for him. I mean, she was
Oh,
married to him
absolutely.
after all.
She obviously loves them.
Yeah.
You know, the last time I went to Vegas, the colonel still had clout in Vegas.
Really.
Yeah, the friend
Even after all that with Elvis, too.
after all that time too.
with the ad litem and all that, the lawsuit afterwards.
It was afterward.
Yeah. So even with that, he still had clout.
Yeah, the woman I wrote the book with, she brought me to Vegas, and I don't pay for anything. And she got a dinner for us from somebody who worked for Elvis, and so we went there to eat. Beautiful restaurant. It was incredible, and everything was free. Well, I started to talk to the pit boss, and he was too young to even know the colonel. Maybe heard stories and that about him, but I asked him about him. He says I can't talk about that. I says, what do you mean you can't? He says I'm not allowed to talk about Colonel Parker.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
then he had clout.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's crazy. All right. Let's see.
This is it. I'm finished. And he went upstairs, and they got into a very heated argument, and Elvis said, you're fired, and Colonel said, I've quit.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came downstairs, and this was about, very early hours of the morning, Colonel awakened me, and he said, come on in the office, I have dictation for you. And I dressed and went in the office, and he dictated the letter ending their association.
Wow.
And what he asked for was the activities that he had booked for Elvis already.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted he said, we're finished, but these are the things, these are your commitments that you will do. And he wanted his regular share of the commitments,
Mm-hmm.
whatever he would normally get. That's what he asked for.
Mm-hmm.
No.
See, I know that story, but I didn't know the whole story. I think sometimes people...
I don't agree with that.
No, that's a do a nice over to put frosting on something that burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Uh,
1 and 2 now. He's 1 for 3.
and it just goes to show too that who the colonel was, because if you really finished and you really at that point of you don't give a shit, you don't want to work with someone no more, you don't walk up to that person and charge them for engagements they still have to do because you want your share. If you're done, you're done. You're gonna cut your you're gonna cut your losses and cut your ties and get the hell out. So you're not gonna walk in there and say I'm done with you, but oh, here's an invoice for the work you still have to do. I want my 50% or whatever the case was. You're not going to do that.
Well, Burton didn't help either.
No.
He didn't want to be poor again, and I'm sure he was in Elvis's ear. At least that's
Oh.
what the story is.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe.
that kind of a bill would scare the piss out of me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Indeed, isn't what we know now.
yeah, but true to the colonel's nature. But no, I don't agree with that ethic. If you're really done with something or someone, you're gonna get out, you're gonna cut your losses, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
Now,
was he really done? No.
no.
I'm done. I can't work with him. He's such an embarrassment. Ha ha ha. It's just hot air again.
Yeah.
Natalie says, does anyone know after Elvis passed how much the Colonel was in debt? I don't think he was in debt at all.
No.
Mm-mm.
He had a net worth, whether it was tangible or assets or whatever. He was in a positive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he would have made sure of that.
Yeah.
I wish there was somebody here that we could ask.
Nudge, nudge, hint, hint.
She's in trouble.
Time out.
Yeah.
Kind of cut out pieces that they don't want in there.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Or they don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I know. He dictated this to me, and I typed it.
Mhm.
I know what was in it. And Colonel had been talking to Vernon, and he said we've got to do something. Well, he talked to Vernon after this, and he said, Vernon, if this doesn't get his attention, I don't know what will. I don't know where to go. This is the best thing I know to get his attention, to help him see how far he is off track.
Mhm.
And Colonel didn't care any less for Elvis when he did that. Oh no, he did. His feelings for Elvis were just as strong as they had ever been. But he said something has to be done. He's just going down a one-way street, and if we can't turn him around, I don't know what will happen.
Mhm.
So they didn't see one another for a while.
Really? God, see, they kind of make it sound like, okay, I can't pay this, so I need the Colonel, and almost like it was a real quickie thing. I mean, it sounds like this went on for a little while then.
Well, this happened in September. He got a call early in 1973. And Elvis and Priscilla's divorce was filed in October of 1973. So this was a bad time for Elvis too.
Right.
And early in 1974, Sonny West called Colonel in Los Angeles. And
There we
Sonny
go.
said, Colonel, Elvis wants to talk to you. And Colonel said, well, put him on. And Elvis said, when are we going back out? And Colonel said, whenever you want to. That was it.
And that was it.
They never discussed the problem or anything.
Mhm. I just
They
interviewed
put it
Sonny.
behind him. They put it behind him.
Yeah.
It was, I think, the most intelligent thing to do.
Well, do you think Elvis got better for a short time after that?
No,
He didn't.
You
I
stop.
wish I could say he did.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think the Colonel ever? She keeps saying how he cared so much for him and loved him and blah 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 stuff like that. Do you think he ever did anything like to show his affection for Elvis by giving hugs or anything like that? What do you think about that?
I don't think he did. I don't think Colonel was a touchy-feely type of guy.
No, I don't think he was very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Affectionate.
No, he wasn't show his affection in that way.
Do you think they were friends?
Elvis and the Colonel, yes, to a certain extent,
I need
up to a certain point, I think.
I need you, you need me. That was basically what
Yeah.
you
Yeah, you do your job and I'll do mine. But I think also at that time when they had the blowout, I think Elvis could have also possibly been in a mental state of mind of saying, you know what, I've been trying to navigate this shithole for X number of years now, and it's just I just keep getting pulled from left to right, from top to bottom. Let's see where it goes. I'm not even gonna put up a fight. It's gonna end somewhere, and I'll just ride it out. I think he had way more to worry about and to concentrate on other than quote unquote petty squabbles.
I agree. And Luann was a lot prettier than the Colonel was.
Yeah, he looks like a.
He sells roadkill.
No, no,
Yeah.
Penguin. He looks like Penguin.
He does look like the penguin, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Burgess Meredith from the old TV show. All right, let's. Are we hanging on anything? Let's go.
Right?
But he didn't.
No.
Now, let's go back in time, and this is so hard to convey to the fans. Today, there are so many treatment centers for problems.
Right?
They didn't exist back then.
Yeah, there was no Betty Ford clinic.
Exactly. There was no Betty Ford clinic. There was not even any real recognition of what to do if someone had a problem.
Right?
And Elvis several times hospitalized himself to try to deal with it. But then he would eventually, went out of the hospital, and there was no way, there's no way you can keep someone in a treatment if they don't want to be there.
Exactly. Exactly. When he can say, I want to leave,
No,
it defeats the purpose.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know.
And
about
please understand, I am not criticizing Elvis for this.
Mhm.
I love my coffee and my desserts. And that's how I try to understand addictions.
All right. I take a lot of pain meds because I have severe pain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And, hey, I got to wheel a fine road.
That's your survival.
Yeah.
Without those pills, you would have no quality of life at all.
Right. And you really got to be careful not to take too many of them.
Right?
I have been taken off of some because.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, because, yes. Yeah, and I have a doctor who's watching over me and saying, look, you're taking too many of these. I think it's time to give you something else.
Right.
You know?
But you see, all of those things weren't available even back then. We're going back 30 years. There are so many medical advantages today that didn't exist when Elvis was alive.
Mm-hmm.
So people tend to judge what happened 30 years ago by today's standards.
Well, yeah, 30 years from now, they're going to say the same thing about these last 30 years.
Yes, and also
It's progress.
and also remember, guys, that the colonel wasn't very trustworthy when it came to money either. So did Elvis have the security of knowing, okay, I might have a problem, I need to go for help, I need to go and book myself into whatever hospital for X amount of weeks? He didn't have the surety of knowing that even if I need to go there, the colonel's not going to look after my interest while I'm not working. He knew that if he was not working and the colonel was left absolutely 100% in charge of money coming in and money going out,
Yeah.
he would come back to nothing.
Yeah, that's fine, Sunflower.
Mhm.
So he had that security of knowing, okay, the colonel is really a good guy. He looks after my interest as well as his own. Maybe in a different world, in a different time, if the colonel had gone to him and said, look, we've put away X amount of money over the number of years, or these are where your money has been invested, this is how your money is going to work for you, whatever. Had he made responsible decisions like that, Elvis might have had the freedom to go to him and say, look, I'm finding myself in a bit of a situation here. I need professional assistance. I need to book in for 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever the case may be. And had he had that security, would he have possibly done that? I think so. But at that point in time, he knew that the colonel wasn't going to look after his money as well as he was going to look after his own.
Yeah.
And that was his fear. He knew that if I let my finger off the pulse here, I'm going to come back to a shitstorm way bigger than I'm going to be able to get out of.
Yeah.
I think.
All right, we're halfway through this one. It's actually pretty interesting. It's a good interview, Joe. You had nothing. It's excellent. You did a great job on this.
The interviewer is great. I love him.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, he's a good guy, that guy.
He is. He's a good guy.
He does-
Sounds like he knew what he was talking about.
He swears a lot, and shaving his beard is ridiculous. But
and he loves photos.
Right.
And I do too. So I gotta say that's a good thing.
Happened
That's a nice save, huh?
today, and that's really, it's not fair. Just not fair.
Right. Well, did he, I mean, when the Aloha from Hawaii was happening, it seemed like he lost some weight, he got a tan. I mean, he wanted to look his best, right? I mean...
He did. And Colonel was thrilled. He thought, okay, maybe this is the turnaround. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were all just thrilled with that show, and he was great. He was wonderful.
Yeah, he was. Were you there?
Of course.
You were there. Oh my God, were you really there?
Well, I was a tour secretary. I traveled on the tours those years when Elvis was on the road. I worked for RCA Record Tours. I was the
see,
secretary.
I kind of jumped and wiggled around, and I didn't mean to, but you know, people have heard all these other stories. I wanted to kind of talk to you, and I want to try to show people that the Colonel is a human being and cared for, you know what I mean? That's what I want to try to show people, and I'm sure I'm going to catch hell for it.
Well, and that's why I'm talking with you, because the information that has been put out there about Colonel, much of it is by people who were not even close to him.
Right.
And once something gets started, it's repeated. It's like gossip. It just gathers momentum as it keeps being repeated. I think one of my favorite examples of that is the dancing chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They never existed.
Never happened.
Never happened.
I've heard that too.
Colonel would tell the story and watch people to see how they reacted. It doesn't make sense. You put chickens on a hot plate, and they're going to... I mean, the whole thing is just... It's incredibly silly.
Right. They're going to jump off.
Of course. And people would... He tested someone's gullibility by using that story.
Uh-huh.
But then people began to repeat it, and now you can read it in almost every book about Elvis and the Colonel.
Yeah.
It goes on and on. Sometimes it's dancing turkeys. But the Colonel loved animals. He did.
Yeah, and it shows him being cruel. Look what he did to these poor chickens.
Exactly.
Because I had even thought, my God, they wouldn't. How did he keep them on the hot plate?
See, it's nonsense.
Yeah.
It's such total nonsense that when people believed it, Colonel just thought, they're gullible beyond belief.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little gullibility test he used. But see, it's gotten out of hand, and now people think he really did it. No.
Yeah, well, see, it kind of backfired on the Colonel.
Yeah.
You know, putting that story out there kind of backfired on the Colonel.
Now, he did, and one place that he did use animals was in the very early days when he was just scratching around, making a living as best he could. He would promote movies for movie theaters. And one I'm thinking of is a movie called Home on the Range. And he had a little livestock display in the lobby. He had a pony, he had a monkey, he may have had some other little animals.
Mm-hmm.
It was to get people's attention to go in and see the movie theater. And some of the country shows, let's go way back in time now, back in the 40s, the country acts, if they had a livestock exhibit, they were exempted from paying some kind of amusement tax or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the country shows were on tour, they would carry some chickens or maybe I don't know. It wouldn't carry pigs or horses or something. It'd be something they could carry in the cars, because in those days everyone drove from one engagement to the other, and they would set it up in the lobby so that when the tax man came to collect the taxes for the show, they were exempt from this tax.
Mm-hmm.
back in those days, you had to scratch to get what you could, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't easy.
The Aloha from Hawaii special, can you tell me about it and what you thought of it? I mean, being right there, did you realize that you were seeing, I mean, a landmark, such a history-making?
It was history. It started when Colonel was riding from Palm Springs to Los Angeles. I believe George Parkhill was driving, but I'm not certain of that. But he had been at the home in Palm Springs with Marie. He would go there every weekend. And they were driving back to L.A. And on the radio, they were talking about President Nixon doing a satellite broadcast from the Great Wall of China. And this was the first satellite broadcast that was heard all over.
Mm-hmm.
And Colonel said, he said, you know, that's history. That's history. He said, Elvis is a worldwide star. He should be the first entertainer to do a worldwide satellite show. And that's where the whole idea was born.
Right. You know, a lot of people don't know that, and I've used that as a part of telling people about the Colonel. Do you realize that if it wasn't for the Colonel, there would have been no Aloha from Hawaii, that there wouldn't have been no photos inside of albums for you to collect? That was all the Colonel.
And Colonel had such a respect for the fans. He truly did.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to do everything he could to help them. He was very upset with the hotels because for the shows at the hotels, it was custom in Las Vegas that you made a reservation. And then everyone stood in line, and they had to pass the maitre d's desk, and he would look, what's your name? Oh, yeah, I see your reservation here. And quite honestly, depending on the tip that he was given or the captain who showed you to your seat was given, that determined where you sat.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And this really upset Colonel because he said, we have fans who save all year to come to a show. It takes all they can scrape together just to get here, just to eat while they're here. They can't afford these big tips. It's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And he fought with the hotel over it, but it was custom and he couldn't stop it. But he was the first to start selling tickets for the shows that had where you had a ticket in your hand, and even then the maitre d' was trying to tell people, well, let's see where we can seat you. Colonel said he came up one night and he said to the long line of fans, just go in, folks. You've got your tickets. You don't need to wait. And the maitre d' just came unglued.
Mm.
Colonel said that's the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, a friend of yours and mine, Suma Caslin, told me how she had to pay the maitre d' to finally get up front. Once she found out that's how you had to do it, and she had literally, she says, Joe, I had no money to eat.
That's right. And this really, really frustrated Colonel.
Mm-hmm.
He tried and tried to get it changed. But Elvis' show was the first one in Las Vegas where you could buy a ticket in advance and you knew you had a ticket for the show. Now, of course, everything is prearranged seating. Your ticket gives the exact location of your seat.
Right. And we all know that a lot of those, the best seats go to promotional people and disc jockeys and stuff like that. So it's still not perfect.
When we were on the road, when we were traveling on the road, Colonel had an ironclad rule. The first either 3 or 4 rows of seats in a venue are the fans.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, no comps. In fact, he said there are no free passes to Elvis shows. Everyone buys a ticket.
Even Elvis.
Elvis' father,
yeah.
anyone Elvis had with him, they all bought tickets. Yeah. And the fans, Colonel said the fans get, it's either the first 3 or 4 rows. That's it. He said, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that make this possible. They should deserve the best.
Do you have any Sahara Tahoe stories for me? I have to ask her. Sue's going to kill me.
You really, because I've seen it in many books, but we know when a story starts, like the chicken thing. I know
Yeah.
Charles Stone says the same thing, but I think Charles tries to keep the myths going. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's kind of a cool little story, but
But if you think about it, no, it's not going to happen.
no.
But what was it just going to say? What was she just talking about? Oh, the tickets. Do you really think Elvis had to pay for a ticket and Vernon and blah, 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 blah? I mean, did Colonel go into the show and have to buy a ticket? It just doesn't sound right. I've read it in many
I
books.
know that they bought tickets for themselves for the Aloha,
Right.
and so, because that was a benefit thing, so they bought tickets too. But as a standard,
Yeah.
no, give me a break. It just doesn't. It doesn't make what. In other words, what does it benefit? You're paying for a ticket that the money's coming right back to you.
Right. Well, half of it.
Oh well, yeah, half of it, but it's just the whole concept of it all.
It just doesn't work.
It just doesn't. You know, what seat do you put them on? Seat one.
I saw a comment a little bit earlier that Mary had a question. Rick, you might know a little bit better than I do because you were in the industry in that time. But as far as my knowledge allows me, Mary said, why didn't Elvis rely more on his album sales than on touring? Maybe it would have eased the burden a little bit. But as far as my knowledge goes, um, in regard to album sales, artists in general get very, very, very minimal
Yeah,
from an
to
album.
to kind of address that. First of all, he sold off his royalties,
Yes,
so
over and above.
it would have been. And see, that time period is different than the time period today, because the only sales of music you had were the albums, and the
Yes,
only way to promote the albums
was by touring.
by going on tour. That's how
Yes,
those tours promoted those albums. Where today they just stream something,
yes,
everything. It's just a totally different ball game. But back then, you, you know, yeah, it wouldn't have been feasible for him to do it. But what would
no,
have been feasible was to find the right person that would be a good manager.
yes, and that comes down to had his money been invested in the right way,
Yes.
he possibly would have been able to do that. But I know in today's terms, the
Uh,
exact figures I'm not sure of, but it's something like out of every album that an artist sells, they get something like 2%. And out of that 2%, they still have to then pay their publishing, their cost, etc., etc., etc. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, they really have to sell a shitload of units to
yeah,
make it viable.
Sure.
They get very, very, very minimal out of, let's say an album sells for $20, they'll get less than $2 out of that 20 will go to the artist.
yeah.
You know, can I- go ahead.
No, no, yeah, go ahead. I didn't even say.
Elvis didn't had like no say with the records and that, but the Colonel sure did.
Yes.
And, he changed the album cover because he didn't care for it. They stopped it, and which was it? Love Letters, I think they did. He didn't. He said it was too close to Elvis's name, so that's the one you want to collect. And then they spread it out. It went to 3 lines instead of 2. So he had clout even with RCA. I think they were worried about the next time they had to sign Elvis up that he would take them somewhere else, but
Hmm.
had clout even there.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
And
Well,
also bear in mind that when Elvis came to RCA was in the red. So Elvis basically pulled RCA
Yeah.
out of the shithole.
When I think of RCA, I always think of Elvis. I don't care if I see if it's a television or electronics or anything like that, immediately first thing I think of is Elvis.
Yeah.
You know, he was. I would imagine they would probably almost have his picture hanging above the owner, the president, of the founder.
Yes.
Because he, an aspect because, like you say, Elvis saved RCA.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Sahara Tahoe was a fun place. It really was. My goodness. Number one, it's one of the most beautiful locations in the world, I think, because you have that wonderful bottomless lake. I don't think they've ever been able to find the depth of that lake. And you're surrounded by the mountains. It's just a glorious place to be. And the room is a bit smaller than the Hilton room was then. So you had more a feeling of intimacy at the shows. I'm thinking back during the period of Elvis, the period where Elvis and Priscilla were going through their severe problems. A lot of that took place at the Sahara Hotel, and I don't mean that she was there, but it was tough times for Elvis.
Sure.
During it, and tough times for Priscilla. I'm not putting her down either. She's proven that she's worked hard for the estate.
Very much.
Done everything she could, and I admire her very much.
And there are those fans that will never forgive her either.
I absolutely have. I'm speechless.
Nice one, Joe. You got a nice backdoor comment in there nicely.
That's funny as shit.
Well,
Yeah.
because they think, what if she had stayed with him? As a woman, I'll give you my opinion.
Yeah, I know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
The same thing it would be if I was a woman.
Why the double standard?
Yeah.
Why can the fans forgive his girlfriends when he was married and not forgive her because she said, I don't want to be a wife standing on the side when I know you've got these women?
Yeah, it had to be hard with the guys constantly being around and that. And
Oh my God! You know, his opinions today of that. If that question was asked today, I can imagine how the answer would be, or the discussion would go. Would she even want to acknowledge it with what way Priscilla has been to today?
Yeah.
Would she even want to respond to that question?
Yeah, a lot of it's just, it would.
Crazy.
And that's what we always said. Kim hit the nail on the head. She says she knew it was like that before she even said the words. So
Yeah.
what was she bitching about when she knew it was going to be like that?
In '73, Elvis made 50 cents per album. Other artists at the time made over $1.
What the?
Thank you, Amy.
Amy,
That was in '73.
Amy, why aren't you in here yet? You can give us a couple of minutes at least. I mean, me, a couple of minutes.
did Elvis ever talk to the Colonel like a dad? Did they ever have conversations other than business?
Not really. Not really, no. No. I'm not saying they didn't, they didn't.
Yeah, you know what I mean, though.
Time. But no, and a lot of times people would ask Colonel, are you like Elvis' father? And Colonel's reply was always the same. Elvis has a father. Vernon is his father. I'm not his father. And part of that, I think, Joe, was because of the difference in their ages. Elvis was born in 1935. Colonel was born in 1909. So that's 26 years. They didn't socialize a lot because the things that Elvis enjoyed doing at his age were not the things that Colonel enjoyed doing at his age.
You imagine
You don't say.
Parker going to Liberty Land together?
Yeah. And climbing off the zippin' pippin right at the top.
Right in the bumper cars. Hey, Colonel, come check this one out.
Elvis was doing a lot more bumping than the Colonel.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So they didn't party a lot, and
Can you say he loved him, though? I mean, when he passed on, I mean,
Colonel was in shock. He was devastated.
but not surprised?
Oh, yeah. We were all surprised.
You notice something?
We were.
Yeah.
And looking
She never answered the question.
I know. I was
I
just,
think he
No.
loved Elvis. She never answered the question.
No.
Golden Goose, and that's all he was, I guess.
sweet sounding lady. You know what's, was it water and vinegar?
Hmm.
Oil and water? Whatever the fuck it is. Can you imagine Elvis giving you tickets and being so
Well, I guess she's like a lemon curd. If you look at it, it looks sweet until you take a bite.
No.
I'm not taking a bite. I'm sorry. Any man can keep his own fruit. I'm not doing it.
Oh, but she had her own thing on the side and was screwing a married man with a pregnant wife.
Huh? Elvis girl, who you talking about? Oh, you talking about Luann?
No, I think he's talking about Priscilla.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Either that or Loanne and Priscilla were right in the same cabin.
back, when we saw the last TV special
Uh-huh.
that Elvis did shortly before his death,
After-
we went into the studio
Oh, yeah,
to
never mind.
look at it, the raw footage. And I just sat there and cried. I couldn't stop. I thought, how could we not have seen this?
Really?
But I don't know how to convey this. To us, Elvis wasn't. He was something so special. We really thought he had a problem, but that he had control.
I got to stop this for a second. Say something about that special. It was what she's sitting there saying. If you're all sitting there watching this, we got some great music out of that special. His vocals were A-class, top notch.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it that somebody in the family, even Colonel Parker or anybody, stop and try to push and say, we can't put this on TV? Because it has been a form for people just to laugh at and mock him and turn him into this, this ogre or something,
I
You
think
know what I think it was?
What's that?
I think it was a case of if they pulled out, CBS would have sued the Colonel.
Yeah, I think that maybe he did it because he knew he wasn't going to be around very long, and he wanted to get as much money out of him as he could.
Yeah, it's definitely monetary based. I think at that point in time, the ink was already on the paper, and had Colonel turned around and said, "No, we can't put this out from a moral perspective. He doesn't look good. He's not in a good space. We can't do this. He needs attention." CBS would have turned around and said, "Sorry, you signed the contract. We gave the money. Uh, you need to deliver product now."
Well, there's a sick clause.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking, Amy. Notice she didn't say he loved them, just shocked.
Hmm.
And that right, it goes to show that he didn't love her.
Yeah.
No.
Joe's just messing with you.
He didn't love Elvis if he allowed that to go forward and be broadcast. If that's how he acted, why would you do that to somebody you loved that you just lost? So her answer to what she said that she didn't answer the question. She just said he was shocked. Well, everybody was shocked. Half the people, the majority of the people that was shocked didn't love him like that type of love that she's talking about.
Well, I think
No,
go ahead.
I agree from a moral perspective, they should never.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm glad they did in a way, because as much as people put him down and as much as people ridicule him for that and how bad he looked, he fucking hit that ball out of the ballpark with those performances and
Yeah.
those shows. So that, in my opinion, is Elvis had what he had right up until the end.
Yeah, they should have just taken advantage and left it just an album.
Yes.
Did you see what Tracy Hean said? Tracy Hean, sorry. Also,
Tracy, yeah.
Also, remember, all the cash money taken from the concession purchases, Bet Parker pocketed most of that. Well, they say he got all of that.
Ooh.
That's what they say. I mean, I'm sure he got a big bit of it.
He always got that. And you're right. He pocketed it. How much did Elvis get?
Minimal.
Where's our research person?
Yeah, no, I agree with Amy too. It's exactly. She said because they didn't want to give the money back. Right up. Right on there. Right on there.
Okay.
It was a case of had he pulled out and said no, this is not going out over the air, CBS would have turned back and said, okay, one of two options here, buddy. Either you give back the money or we go to court and we'll sue you for this money.
Yeah.
You know,
So yeah, I agree with you guys 100%. No, did he love Elvis as much as being portrayed? No, I don't think so.
but you know,
His love for money far outweighed.
I really loved that concert, though.
Yes, it was a good show. Did he look good in it? No, he wasn't at his best.
No, the vocals were just.
But vocally, he was fucking brilliant.
And the band was tip top.
Mhm.
I mean, it was the release. All the FTDs I've heard, or all the remastering. It makes it even more like you're sitting there in the audience when you're listening to the concert, because it's just the Elvis and every instrument just comes right through.
Has it?
It's like
Sorry,
go ahead, Joe.
Has it ever been put out legally, or just
No.
bootlegs in that? It's not.
No,
I didn't think.
it's never been legit released. No.
Yeah.
They keep talking about it, but they're never going to budge.
No.
No.
I wouldn't even want to see that enhanced.
No.
I would be scared to see what it winds up looking at. Just the way technology.
You got to track down the Final Curtain.
I've got it.
Do you got the box set Final Curtain?
Well, I've got it on digital. I don't have I've got it on digital, but yeah.
Yeah, I got the whole box with the book and all that shit in it.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, and I mean, we all know he did fucking brilliant renditions of How Great Thou Art in the 70s. But in my opinion, that rendition he did at Rapid City is the best one for me. He just there's something, a different monster came out in that performance of that song. And to me, did he lose that? No, he had it all the way.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how you're going to take. I don't know how you're going to take it, but I always thought when he sang gospel that he was talking to his God.
Yes.
Oh, I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe just watching him when he's singing a song like that, he's into it. It's almost like he doesn't even realize the audience is out there.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
He's in a world of his own, and there's something to be said about having a band like that right behind you, just to enter into you and just make you move. It's not just music. It's I hate to use this type of terminology, but it's almost a spiritual experience.
Yeah, it was like he was having an out of body experience.
Yeah.
Well, like the Jerry Schilling story when he sees him at the piano at Graceland.
Yeah.
Same type of thing. Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine?
Yeah. Could you imagine sitting on the steps of
Just that voice with the minimal piano accompaniment
in Graceland?
Oh, we could do 3 lives on that subject.
Oh.
God.
Yeah. All right.
Why wasn't I around even as a fly back then?
Why? Instead of Elvis, you probably would have been stuck to the shit pile, right?
Sperm, you got to get used to it.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We got 9 minutes left.
And that's naive looking back at it. But at the time, we were so immersed in Elvis,
You're
and
right, Mary.
our lives were dedicated to taking care of his business and taking care of him.
Mm.
And now, I don't say I had to take care of him. He had his own group to take care of him, but I took care of Colonel, and Colonel, I think he thought 24 hours a day about Elvis' business and what he could do to help and how he might be able to help. And there were some problems near the end. Elvis wasn't going in the studio and recording. They brought the studio to Graceland, and they still had problems getting him to do the work. And Colonel thought of so many different ways that they could recycle what already was there and so
Now,
forth.
he was a recycler, wasn't he? That used to piss me off. I'd go get one of these, new release, and it winds up just being a bunch of, movie songs or just recycled songs. And I used to get mad. I said, "What's all the?" They put like "Burning Love" on it, and the rest of them were all like,
I know.
like I love only one girl, the one, stupid. Or only McDonald had a
I
phone.
was just as pissed when I came out. Just
And again, we've spoken about this in the Inside the Studios too. And just to add on to what she's saying, Elvis got to the point where he didn't want to go to the studio because he knew the quality of shit that they were expecting him to put out, and he was bored. He was fucking bored out of his skull. And he knew that he didn't have the artist freedom to say, I don't want to do this, I want to do that.
yeah.
He was forced into a fucking rat wheel to put out the same monotonous bullshit that he'd been putting out for 18 years prior. And it must be fucking soul destroying as an artist, knowing that you have so much more to say, so much more to give, but you're not being allowed to do that because the powers that be are putting you in this pigeonhole and saying, if you don't do this, you're not going to do anything.
Well, doesn't RCA make more money if they put on an album something they already have? Huh?
I guess to a certain extent they did.
Yeah.
That would explain why every couple of months or couple of years you got the same album just in a different tracking order or a different mix or different album cover. Why it still happens today? The FTD series are starting to do it now. They're rehashing albums with different album covers, different track settings, but it's the same shit. Go back a year, 2 years, 3 years, you'll find 2 or 3 albums with the same thing,
Oh, Charlie.
just in a different package.
Charlie's tired of Parker. Sorry, Charlie's leaving.
No, that's C-Cat.
I'm sorry, C-Cat. Please stay.
And I think that's where he got to. He got to a point of fuck this. I'm not going to drive all that way.
Right.
I feel like shit 90% of the time.
Yeah.
I've tried to express what I want to express. I'm not getting hurt, so fuck it. They want me to do the work. They can fucking do the legwork. They want me to perform. They'll bring the fucking truck here. They'll set it up, and I'll come down when I'm good and ready to come down.
Right.
And I'll bash out whatever the fuck I need to bash out, and when it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
Was he as invested towards the end as he was in the mid to late 60s? Hell no. Because he got to the point where he knew that, whatever I do, they're gonna fuck with the mix, they're gonna fuck with the album art, and it's not gonna be what I want to put out anyway. So I might as well just give them the regular recipe and let them do whatever the fuck they want with it. And it must have been excruciatingly soul destroying as an artist to be in that kind of position. I don't know about you, Rick. I mean, you worked with some guys at that sort of level. I mean, I'm sure you were privy to.
It's all about the end product.
Yeah.
And when you don't have much say at the end product, then that's very frustrating to him. So, all right, well, we got 9 minutes left on this video, and we'll see what happens. We'll have time to finish do the other one if we want.
He never stopped. I know Colonel and I would be having dinner conversation, and yet I realized his mind was more on his job with Elvis than it was talking to me. It was just his life. And when Elvis died, it was like his life just came to a roaring halt for a minute. And his next thought was, okay, what can I do to keep his memory alive? What can I do to help the estate?
Can you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well,
what
to
can
the
I
end of
do
his
to help
life,
myself?
he would say, it's always going to be Elvis and the Colonel. I will work for him until I draw my last breath.
Can you tell me how the Colonel and yourself found out that Elvis had passed?
We were at the hotel in Portland waiting for the plane. And Colonel and some of the Concerts West people and so forth were in, I think it was probably in a suite. They were just talking together, passing time until they received the word that the plane was on the way, and then they would all get in the cars and go to the airport and so forth. And he got a call. From Vernon. And Vernon, at that point, or was it Joe? I'm not sure who called him first, to be honest.
I was just about to say, the story's always been Joe.
Try number 2. I was always told that Esposito as well. So,
Yeah.
25 years on the radio. You think I'd remember?
Yeah, I did. Did I tell this earlier about starting the show last night?
Yeah.
I looked up at that light. It wasn't on. I go, oh shit.
Well, it worked out fine because the intro song was Johnny B. Good from 1969, and that's always a good song.
And I see
And
a message pop up in Discord says no sound.
And when it was done, I was thinking, that's worthy of playing it again. So when you said, oh shit, I forgot to hit the go live button, we had to do this again, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But the first call said that they were taking Elvis to the hospital, that he was in really bad shape. And Elvis came down to the room and he said, I just want you to know I've got this call. He said, let's pray about it. And I don't mean that he and I stood there and prayed, but that
right.
That was all we could do at that time. And then he went back where the admin were, and then he got the final call from Vernon, just crying and saying, my boy is gone, my boy is gone. And Colonel said, I just pray that Vernon doesn't die now too. I mean, Vernon was just, he didn't know what to do. He was just...
Go ahead.
I have no comment. Do you really think that would be the first thing? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm being way too judgmental.
Totally devastated. And then Colonel came to the room and he said to me, he's gone. And but then immediately he immersed himself in the business because there were people who were going to be coming to see his show. And it had to be canceled. The whole tour had to be canceled.
The business didn't stop.
You couldn't stop it. That was a luxury that they could not afford themselves. So it kept going. And then, of course, we flew to Memphis. I think probably one of the worst nights of my life was that night. I'm sorry, Joe.
It's all right. I'm sorry, honey.
It still upsets me.
I don't...
30 years. Isn't that strange?
I'm sorry.
We're all sorry. We're all sorry. I think many of us can just cry when we think about it. But we had to eat dinner in the hotel. Colonel said, we're going down to the coffee shop. We're going to have dinner. And I don't want any display of emotion. he said, Elvis is going to be proud of us. And we sat there and just, we played with our food. We couldn't eat. But it was just...
Can you imagine somebody saying to you, I want no display of emotion? Who the
That
frig he? Come on now.
that hit me too, Joe. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Out of all the things to say to
Yeah.
anybody, let alone your wife, to anybody, we're going down to the coffee shop, we're gonna have dinner, and I want no display of emotion. And then to follow it up with Elvis is gonna be proud of us, like, fuck off.
Yeah, really. God.
Yeah. He's an ass. Yeah, I
horrible. And I think every fan, no matter where they were that night.
he said at the very beginning, listen to the beginning of it, listen to her voice, and she sounds so sweet and nice and everything. But right now, that's gone for me. I mean, it's still the same, but it doesn't make it ease. It doesn't lead me to want to believe her.
No, it's like she's just regurgitating the kernel all over again. It's
Yeah.
like she's lost the ability to think for herself, to rationalize I mean, even if it was me, if anybody had said that to me about my friend, I would have said, well, then go fuck yourself. I'll stay wherever I'll be. Go do whatever the fuck you need to do, but this is what I need to do. Bye.
Yeah.
I don't think she could stand up to him.
No.
Oh, I bet you there was a bit of a fear there.
Yeah.
And not an abusive type of fear, just kind of a fear of
Yes.
the snappiness, the shortness, or just the way he is. I mean, I
Don't question his motives, kind of thing.
No.
Just yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir, and that's it.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yes.
An equally rough time. We're all in this, that's what binds us all together.
I know I did. I was only 16 years old and I thought my world ended.
That's right. Yeah. Unless you loved Elvis, unless you were a fan, you can't imagine what we all went through. And when I say all, I mean the fans as well. It was devastating for all of us. We just couldn't. I don't think anyone could have predicted it was going to happen then. Not then. We all thought that someday, of course, but not now.
Not at 42.
Well, I think
And, I think that's why some people still can't accept that he died. They want him so to be alive that they say he's not dead. That it was a ruse, that he didn't really die.
a ruse.
Well, he did.
Yeah, I didn't realize how young 42 was until I turned 42.
There you go.
Yeah. I want to ask you a question about, and I'm sure, you've heard it so many times before, what the Colonel wore when he went to Elvis's funeral. And he's taken a lot of slaps in the back of the head from fans over that. Can you tell me about that?
Okay, yes. On the plane from Portland to Memphis, and there was, we took our small plane and flew to Memphis before the funeral, of course. And I said to Colonel, when we get to Memphis, I need to go shopping. He said, what do you mean? And I said, well, I don't have anything that I consider proper to wear to the funeral. I have work clothes. And on the road, you pack something that's comfortable, and you try to look nice and neat, but you don't dress the way you would for a funeral, something like that. And I said, I don't have anything proper to wear. And he said to me, Loanne, if those clothes were good enough to work for him, they're good enough to say goodbye to him.
Wow.
No.
He said,
What?
There you go, right there.
What?
he ruled the roost.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I don't agree with that purely because I was in the same situation when my friend died. Even his brother told me, we're going to the church service. It's all casual and all the rest of it. Go comfortable. That's what he would have wanted. But out of respect and love for my friend, I
Sure.
went in a collared shirt with a tie, and I had black pants, and I went dressed as I was going to a church service because I had respect and love for my friend. I couldn't give a shit if the rest of the people were going to pitch up in swimming trunks and a t-shirt. For me, it was no. That's not how I'm going there.
Something like that would go to a guy whose life has been in a biker gang, and they go to the funeral. They're all going to be in their
Yes.
leather because that's their form of respect to the person. But
Yes.
sit there and tell me that respect to Elvis, everything that he put in that he's the one who literally put the money into your pocket. You're gonna say that a Hawaiian shirt and I would imagine he probably wore a fucking cap, right?
Yeah, he did.
And you're gonna say that if it was good enough for we worked together, it's good enough for me to pay respects at a funeral. Fuck that.
Fuck you. Yeah.
But I think she really did want to show respect,
Right.
Yes.
and I think he put her down.
Yeah.
I really do. And so
Yeah.
That line right there just pisses me off. I've never heard that comment about Parker saying that, and I'm just like,
about what?
what she just said. He said if it was good enough to work with them.
Yeah. Oh
and,
my God.
And I'm just like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Elvis dressed to the nines.
Yes, Melissa has it right too. She said Colonel did it intentionally because he knew people would talk about it. Again, promoting himself. Promotional opportunity here, people. Boop, bada bing, bada boom.
I believe that's a whole lot more than I believe what he just said. I mean, that sounds logical.
Bad promotion. I mean, bad story.
Any publicity is publicity is good publicity.
I hate Elvis. I love Elvis.
Well, did it go around when he did that? I mean, at the time, did it go around that he went with his shorts and stuff on?
I don't think he had to go around. It was all over it was just a common. It was one of those things that come out. Oh, you won't believe what Parker wore. It just from that forward, it's been.
I'm trying to
written in books and.
Yeah, I'm talking about then. I don't remember. Was it in magazines that he went there in shorts and stuff?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm sure there must have been newspaper stories about it. There must have been.
I'll have to see. We can't find one.
Linda was campaigning for a new boyfriend. Linda did the same with her tits out. And they knew. Yes, I don't think what Linda wore was appropriate either.
What'd she wear?
Well, like I said, almost had her tits hanging out.
Well, what was
her boobs?
You know, let Elvis go with his smile.
Joe.
Right, we got a minute left in this thing, too. A minute and a half.
It's not the clothes that are important. It's how we feel inside. And he said, there's no time to go shopping. We don't have time for that. He said, he saw us on the road. He knows how we look. That's enough for him. And so he wore just what he did on the road. He wore a pair of slacks. He wore his shirts. He didn't ride a motorcycle. That story started. Ridiculous.
They said he rode a motorcycle?
Oh, yeah. One of the newspaper reports said Colonel was riding a motorcycle in the funeral procession.
I can't imagine Colonel on a motorcycle.
Imagine. And Lorraine, oh, my goodness.
Another thing that they talk about is that he was there doing business. Well, you've kind of said that already, that business never stopped. I mean, didn't he go and had Vernon sign contracts right then and there? But I guess they needed to be, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. You had to have someone who had the authority to continue doing the business, or the business would have been taken away.
Right. Because the bootleggers are already there, bootlegging shirts and stuff, and...
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, there's one fallacy that I would like to clear up, and that is that it's been said that Colonel made a deal for merchandising the day of the funeral or the day after, or something.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Wasn't that with Vernon that he did that with? That Vernon wrote over the rights or something for some stuff? Amy?
Yeah, was it with Vernon? I remember the deal, but I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. Because he wrote to Vernon to make sure he could...
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, here's the last 20 minutes of the interviews. This is the second part. They left us with a cliffhanger.
After the funeral, Colonel did not go to New York, as it's been said, etc. When we got back to Los Angeles, he contacted the William Morris Agency. They were the agents for Elvis, because a manager had to have an agency to work through. I mean, those are just some of the laws in entertainment at that time. And he said, this merchandising thing is going to be bigger than my staff can handle, Colonel said. He had a very small staff. And he said, we've got to get someone who has knowledge of and who has experience in merchandising, so this can be done properly. It has to be done properly. And they put him in touch with Harry Geisler. And they had meetings, and attorneys were there, and the whole thing, so that it was done properly. But they predated the contract back to the time of Elvis' death. Because had they not done that, they would have had no merchandising rights during that period.
Right.
And it saved the estate countless money to do.
So has that caused trouble?
Yeah.
Well, people are saying the Colonel was so cold in business that he made merchandise.
You want to say something, Cam?
Yeah, Amy said it just as I was thinking it. She said she's about to tell a big ass lie.
Saved the company a lot of money. How much did it save the Colonel?
All right, I got something I'm uploading. Amy sent me a picture.
Saved the estate a lot of money. Yeah, right.
The estate that he was ripping off?
Yeah.
All right, I got a picture to share with you guys here.
Okay. Colonel Parker naked? No, let me see.
No, but he's not in the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, but look at this big book in his pocket.
It looks like somebody shat under his nose the way he's pulling his face.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have a hat on. That's why I'm sure that right there is just, it's fucking August, but the temperature and the humidity is unbearable. There's George Hamilton right in the center.
And he's a big man too. I mean, he's gonna sweat his ass off. The Colonel.
Jeez, like it sounded like fucking something exploded in the world of Joe.
Yeah. All right. It's let me see. Let's get a bunch of comments here real quick. At the time, I remember reading in a tabloid that Colonel wore a Hawaiian shirt. Yeah, I'm sure by the time he gets to the day, he was probably wearing a thong too.
Cough, cough.
It used to be a volleyball net. Oh, jeez.
Oh my goodness. I keep going back to that story.
Blanchard.
All right, here we go.
Deals before Elvis was, before a funeral and this kind of thing.
Okay, so...
They just portrayed Colonel as a totally cold person who cared for nothing but business. and that he wasn't upset over over Elvis' death,
Right.
or he couldn't have been doing business like that. I think that any business that he did, and there had to be business done. Tours had to be canceled. All of those things they have to deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what saved Colonel's sanity.
Mm-hmm. Work. Yeah.
Work. There are times when you just have to throw yourself into something in order to stop thinking about the thoughts that would destroy you.
All right.
I was waiting for that.
See that last comment there?
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
I didn't see any presents.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, I can see this one now. We'll be
Okay.
Todd Donner again.
No, but that'll be a video for tomorrow for him.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He went to work. But it was always for Elvis'
Good one,
benefit.
Amy.
There were many entertainers who contacted him about managing them, and he very kindly and very nicely said no. And he said to me, when you've had the best, nothing else will do. And there'll never be anyone
Well,
like
then why
him.
didn't you fucking treat him like he was the best?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And who's willing to bet the Colonel ever went to Elvis and said, I know we fucking worked hard this year, but fucking thanks. Awesome year. Well done.
No.
Yeah, I can't see that.
No.
And I disagree. The way Loanne said it saved Colonel's sanity. Yeah, the Colonel spelled sanity INCOME.
I interviewed Charles Stone. I think it was him who said when he found out they were all together and they were working in his office and all that stuff, and they found out, and he said something like, "Nothing stops. We took care of him when he was alive. We got to take care of him now."
Yeah.
Can you imagine saying that?
Yeah. I have no more to say about him right now. I'm sure there'll be more shit coming up here now.
I knew this.
Well, I know that Ricky Nelson asked, and I know the Beatles asked.
Mm-hmm.
The Beatles asked?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after their manager died.
Yeah.
They did. But, no, I mean, Elvis, that was it. And when you think about it,
When did Epstein die?
Oh, that was. It was young when they were young. Let me see. Siri.
Because Epstein was our manager, right?
Yeah.
George Martin was the producer thing, guy.
Oh, have I passed on that cop? It seems like I passed on the cop for being the most vile and disgusting of the day.
Anybody want to lay out any odds that we're going to see screenshots of his cat tomorrow?
most managers have several different stars that
Right.
they manage. And Colonel always said, if you have time to manage two artists, then you're not giving enough time to the one artist.
Mhm.
He said, my time is all Elvis.
See, now that's going to segue me right into my next question. The 50-50 split.
Okay? The 50-50 split, although it was a contract and it was on paper, Colonel never took 50.
Bullshit.
Oh,
What a blatant lie.
oh.
What a blatant lie. What a blatant right out there.
Well, yeah, obviously this was done after the Guardian, after everything was exposed.
Yeah.
And he's going to say that?
Yes, you're right. You're right. It brings me back to, okay, that was a blatant lie, but then explain the court case 1981 where Lisa Marie took the colonel to court and said no, and they reversed those agreements. If that was a blatant lie, surely in 1981, when the whole thing went to court, they would have determined that it was a lie, that it was in fact not the case. But they proved the contrary. They proved that it was in fact the case. So again, who's lying?
Yeah. All right.
For a deal that he personally put together that did not require anything but Elvis likeness. In other words, if there was a merchandising product that Colonel came up with the idea, put it together, made it happen, and Elvis had no personal involvement except to say okay, then Colonel, it was 50-50. Because if Colonel had not had the idea, nothing would have existed along those lines. But when it came to the shows, the regular management fee, he never took 50%. There was a contract signed saying that he could get 50%, but when Vernon came to Colonel and said, Colonel, we're having some problems, and January 22nd, 1976 was when the partnership agreement was signed, and I typed it. Vernon said, we're running short on cash, and could you just not take more than your regular third for a while? And Colonel said, that's fine, Vernon. And in fact, Elvis died, and Colonel never did get 50%. He just took his regular third. That was
Bullshit.
it. That was it.
It's been proven that he
Yeah.
The partnership contract was signed because at that time, Colonel was very concerned about Elvis' ability to make decisions.
Oh, my God.
Now she's trying to sell the BS that Elvis wasn't compass mentis.
I got to find out where my wife put that defibrillator here. I'm going to need to zap myself here in a minute.
I mean, she's into downright lying now. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I started this thing wanting to marry her, and now I just want to bury her.
You want to marry her?
when they
Well, it's just an analogy. No, what is that? It's just a metaphor. It's just
It's just a metaphor.
well, when they sued, all the papers said that it all came up 50-50.
Yeah.
Still in the courts are lying.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. She's saying the whole lawsuit was a lie.
For all of you in the chat and who are watching it later or watching us, period. Next week we'll be starting the Blanchard Tool starting ad litem, and I can guarantee you, you guys better just either bring your little nips and your buds or your rolls or your little gummies, because you're gonna find out some shit that are just gonna be, what the?
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Amy's hits it right on the nail. I was going to go, okay, what about Boxcar?
Oh, sure. He
Yeah.
got nothing on Boxcar. On the album Boxcar, he got nothing. Nothing. I'll fight you on it, Amy, if you said he did. He did not.
Whoa.
Nothing on Boxcar. Nada. Nada. Zero. Did I just kill somebody?
I guess it's out there now.
It's gonna come back. Our first fight.
All right, let's continue.
And this meant that Elvis reached a point where he could not make decisions, then Colonel could make them for the partnership. That never happened.
Right.
Elvis was able to make decisions right up to the end, but this was just like an insurance.
Now, another question a lot of people ask, I'm trying to think of questions, so, because I'm always asked the same things about the Colonel. Elvis never going outside of the United States.
Here again, we have a problem, because today there are so many wonderful venues outside the United States that he could have played. In those days, they weren't in existence. Elvis did not.
Okay, let's stop and think about it. 𝗘𝗹𝘃𝗶𝘀. Who else was there? Was another one at Budokan. McCartney went and toured Japan. You had Wembley Stadium.
Deep Purple did
I mean,
Japan.
they've had soccer fields, soccer stadiums longer than almost America's been around.
Didn't they want? Didn't they want to pay him to be in front of the pyramids? And they were going to
Yes.
pay him big bucks for that. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Australia offered him $1 million, cover all expenses, come down. Then they said,
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, they said they turned around and said we'll pay him for one show. All he has to come and do is one show. We'll
"Do you
pay
know
him
how
for
many?"
one show.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
That's what it was.
There were no good enough places outside the U.S. back in those days.
She must be thinking back when she was living during when they lived in tents.
Yeah. How about
Jesus, this
My
woman.
God. Oh yeah, Joe's spicy today. He's definitely spicy.
to play outdoors. Absolutely. He
Now,
would
I don't know
not.
if you remember this, Joe, but did you kind of like, huh? When she said that? And what she said about there not being any stadiums. What?
but gotta be nice or they shut up.
Yeah. Well, no, I understand that. I can understand why. I was just trying to figure out what went through your head when she said that. Did you like do a spit take?
No, you gotta shut up and be nice.
All right.
Play outdoors. And I think that stems back to the early days when the fans almost tore him apart a couple of times. They tore clothes off, the whole thing. And when you think of being one person surrounded outside by all of those people,
What is
it would be terrifying if they decide to come down to the stage. And
what is it? When you leave the country, the people you go play concerts for are uncivilized?
You don't have security or anything like that?
Because they don't wear shoes when they come to concerts. This is absolutely absurd.
They would have been shooting stones with slingshots.
Yeah, really.
He must have been taking the colonel's leftover medication after that. Freaking- this
See what Charlie said? They would build an Elvis.
oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
They would have had Elvis stadiums all over the world.
yeah. One time use.
I guess that's why the Pope toured the world surrounded with a perspex box. The same reason.
Here, I wondered if you guys would enjoy this one.
Oh, well, yeah, he was all worried.
I don't like when you
This
guys.
is almost worth having a rerun with it about 6 months from now. Can be kind of a boring there. Let's bring out Loanne again. Little 𝗘𝗹𝘃𝗀 for a while.
Oh my
And I
God.
don't mean that they ever meant to hurt him, but you get people grabbing for pieces of clothing and so forth, and it's going to be painful.
Yeah.
That's
So
why
he
he
didn't
never
want to play
toured out.
outside. Most of the venues that
Security. You got security.
Can you just imagine this on a TV interview? Why did Elvis never play outside America? Oh no, because they would have ripped his clothes off in the restaurant.
Think of the 50s. They did.
This is absolutely.
And
That
I'm sure the people in the chat, you girls would have had a problem with that. People ripping Elvis' clothes off.
Yeah,
We
they
don't
were-
want that.
It's like they don't have security. Maybe they were off. Maybe they couldn't work that night because they're out hunting for dinner for their family the next day with a bow and arrow. I mean, she's making it sound like the United States was the only country in the world that could protect their artists.
Yeah.
You leave out of here and you just might wind up in a cannibal Super Bowl. It's fucking stupid.
Well, thank God he didn't make it to Africa. He might have been eaten by a lion.
I know, it's crazy.
We're outside venues.
Mhm.
There are rumors that Colonel had this offer, that offer, and another offer. When yes, there were a couple offers that were extended, but when it came right down to saying, do you have the money, they didn't have the money.
Mhm.
And they said, well, the Colonel will get it because the prices they were going to charge would have been so astronomical. No fan could have afforded it.
Right.
And Colonel said, no, if we're going to play overseas, the people who really love Elvis need to be there. And these people, they couldn't afford to go.
I'm going to tell you,
Now,
Elvis would have torn apart the attendance records in the United States by going international.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
I
people
mean-
would have saved up for months.
I mean, you think
Go
about
see
Wembley. Wembley, and this was, I think this, that the original Wembley back then isn't around anymore, I believe. I think they built a new one, if I'm not mistaken. So, but that one set 100,000 people. I mean, good Lord, he could do
4 shows.
he could do 4 shows there, and half of Europe would drive to go see him.
Yeah.
No empty tears on the top of that one.
No, I mean it's like, and there's other stadiums like that throughout. I mean, look where they used to hold the Olympics. They'd always build these big stadiums for the Olympics over the years. Oh, oh my God, Mexico's got all those great stadiums, and they had them back then. They didn't just build them the last 5 years, you know.
Yeah, there we go. Melissa says it right up. She said he walked through the audience kissing the fans.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Charlie Stone, and you know Charlie,
Mhm.
has told me several times that when Elvis died, he had plane reservations to go overseas to check out venues to see if there were any venues that could be used. So Colonel was planning to do that.
Yeah, he told me the same thing. Yeah.
I think it's in his book too.
Now, a lot of people blame that on the Colonel, saying you know, illegal citizen and all that.
Come on.
I know. I'm trying to. I'm not Joe Crine.
Colonel was good friends with several presidents of the United States, and if you are close to a president, believe me, the Secret Service has checked you out, and they know your past and forward history.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of everything what someone is going to say.
I know, Joe. How could you land overseas with guns and drugs?
Mhm.
Fuck, the rest of them all did it. The Stones did it. The Beatles did it. Morrison did it. Johnny Cash did it. Everybody did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's some repercussions from it. Yeah, sure, but it didn't stop them.
They take your friggin' guns, but you're Elvis Presley. They won't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy that walked into the fucking FBI headquarters with guns. And now they worried about him going outside of the U.S. with guns and Medicaid. Bullshit.
If they weren't smart enough to figure out how to do that, then
Yeah.
it's absurd. Some of the way they thought, and what the worst thing about it is they want his fans to believe this shit.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's the worst part of it all.
She's sitting here knowing that Elvis fans are listening to this, and she knows in her head that she's flat out fucking lying. There's no way she can't know that.
Yeah. It's not like we gonna sit here and go, okay, because Luann said it, okay. Of course, now we're having the discussion because we're going hold out here.
Yeah.
My intelligence tells me X. Jeez.
They would, and a lot of those countries, well, a lot of them would have just gloried in arresting Elvis.
Sure. Look when they nailed the Beatles.
Yep. And Frank Sinatra was nailed down in Australia.
Oh yeah, and their careers ended, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I from what I understand, when the Stones there used to be a band called the Stones. They got arrested out of the country, and they don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like what the?
They did the same thing to Paul McCartney.
Yeah, with a pot. Yeah.
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 They say
And
because he didn't want to do the tour there.
yeah, there we go. Tracy said the same thing. I didn't know that. She said the Queen of England wanted to see Elvis perform at the Royal Variety Show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Know that.
Could they not maybe have helped? I'm
Well, there's a
sure they
will,
could
there's
have.
a way, and if
Of course.
you know,
Sorry, Queen, but we can't bring him over because he brings guns.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Sorry, we can't bring him over. He carries guns.
Not even you have that kind of clout, but the Colonel does.
Yeah.
One of Colonel's prime objectives was to protect Elvis at all costs.
Bullshit.
That was it.
Just to
He
protect
would do
himself.
anything to protect him.
Mm-hmm. But he
And
couldn't protect him from himself.
no
Mhm.
one could do that but him. And you know, it's
That's-
heartbreaking.
that's
It tears
acting
you
right
apart
there.
to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that was done that anyone around Elvis knew to do. Everything was
Bullshit.
done,
Bullshit.
and it just didn't work.
Yep.
It didn't
No.
work.
He was protecting
Can I ask you
himself.
about the lawsuit
I went places.
from EPE to Colonel Parker, the judge over Lisa Marie? Can I tell you about that? I mean, can
Thank
you tell
you,
me
Joe.
about that?
Of course. February of 1980, there was a company that wanted to do some filming, or they wanted to lease some of the contents of the trophy room at Graceland.
Huh?
And Colonel went to the estate and said, is this something that you will approve? And the advance rent was about $400,000 they were going to pay to lease these items.
That's
And
not what Joe's
because
asking.
it was a very unusual transaction, the co-executors requested approval from the probate court in Tennessee. And February of that 1980, Judge Evans signed a court order for a guardian ad litem to be appointed for Lisa Marie because she was underage. In other words, the court says, we're going to appoint a guardian to protect her interests since she is too young to make decisions herself. And this guardian was appointed
Right.
in May. In June, this man came to see Colonel in the RCA Record Tours office in Los Angeles. I was in the office that day.
Would you have loved to have been in that office?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And again, that she's not asking what Joe asked. She's
No,
not
she's
answering
not.
what Joe asked.
No, she's not.
Joe's asked.
I was
Joe
not-
asked particularly in terms of the 50-50 and the.
And she's done that for the majority of this interview.
At least I asked.
Yeah.
Yes, I was so fucking glad you did, Joe.
But you're not hearing anything.
Not in the room with Colonel and the appointed guardian.
Right.
But when he left, when this man left, I heard him say, Colonel, after our conversation today, I think you will be pleased with my report.
Mm-hmm.
That was early June. In late September of 1980, this man filed in the probate court of Shelby County, Tennessee, a scathing criticism of Colonel's work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the same man that said you're going to like my report. In the meantime, they asked Colonel for a great deal of information from his files, and anything they wanted, Colonel said to his staff, get it together, give them whatever they want. He said, I've done
don't
nothing
care.
wrong. They're going to find out.
He's representing his clients. How he goes about getting the information, that's his business.
Yeah.
And he told the colonel what he needed to tell the colonel, because he knew if he came out there straight up and said,
Yeah.
Colonel, I want all your records. I want to see the agreements you had with Elvis. We have this case. Lisa's instituted a case. She's suing you because of the 50-50 deal. She's suing you because you exploited her father. We want to see all the contracts, black on white. The colonel would have cooked his books. So that guy told the colonel what he needed to tell him to get the relevant information. Now she's bashing that guy because he did his job?
Yeah.
No. Fucking brilliant.
He said what he had to say at the time.
Yes. Now she's bashing him because he went against what he supposedly inferred to the colonel. No, he got his information however the fuck he saw fit to get it, and he got it, and he proved his case.
Well, it's going to come out.
I'm sorry, I hit that by mistake.
It's going to come out that he's the one that got screwed.
Yeah.
The colonel?
Yeah, that's what they're going to say. She's going to say.
Yeah. Why, were you there?
God.
Were you there?
But the court of Tennessee said that Colonel Parker should be sued. Now, the estate said no.
Bullshit.
We do not think the colonel has done anything wrong.
Bullshit.
What?
But the court said the court ordered the estate to bring a suit.
Yes, because they
There
knew
were
the
no
colonel was
problems
fucking them over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they were representing Lisa as a minor, and they fucking knew that the colonel was fucking Lisa over.
Yeah. Exactly.
Colonel and his estate.
I missed it.
I hope Colonel had his depends on that day.
It was
Jesus,
it
I'm
was
just about to have a
court in
stroke
Tennessee
myself.
that thought there was a problem. And there was
Yeah.
never, actually, they never sued. This drug on.
What?
This started in 1980, and it wasn't finished until June of 1983.
And how was it finished? I mean, he didn't.
That was finished. It was finished in 83.
Yeah.
Yes. Amy.
Lose.
No, in fact, I'm
She's
going to tell you exactly
You
what
see what
happened.
she's doing? You see what she's doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's stuttering and she's it's stuff like because she's making up a lie.
Yeah, well, you're doing a good job of getting her to that.
Yeah.
You know,
Brilliant.
this isn't a conversation. This is an actual interview.
This is interrogation.
There you go. Joe's a badass.
Yeah, fucking brilliant, Joe. This interrogation disguises an interview. Fucking well done.
Sorry, okay. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Colonel, in the beginning, Colonel would not defend himself to the press or anyone else because he kept saying to me, I've done nothing wrong. I have nothing to defend. I don't need to defend myself. You defend yourself if you're guilty. He said, I'm not guilty. And as time went on and it got worse and worse, and Colonel really suffered over this. He was a man who had done the best he could. All of Elvis' career. He did the best he could, and then suddenly everyone was saying, you cheated him, you did this, you did that, and he didn't. He didn't. Well,
you know what I think is shit. Sorry, hold on a second. I gotta get this back over. I think I might have gone too far over, but maybe she's just doing all this lying because it's the only way she's gonna get to see Colonel Parker again because she's gonna go downwards. So
I mean, look at that guy's eyes. I mean, we've often spoken about it. Look at that guy's eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul. That guy in that picture has the most fucking seedy eyes I have seen in a human being in a long time.
Lucifer's eyes.
Yeah, there's no life in those eyes. There's no love in those eyes. It's
It's
like a black hole.
shifty, squinty eyes.
Are we
Yes.
are we still on the air?
He was a man who
Yeah, we're still on the air.
Oh, 2 hours and 10 minutes. I thought you usually
No.
longer than that.
Are you kidding me? We've had 3.5 hour shows.
Okay, let's go back to the interview. Jesus, stop.
had done the best he could. All of Elvis' career. He did the best he could, and then suddenly everyone was saying, you cheated him, you did this, you did that, and he didn't. He didn't. Well, finally he said, I've had it. This is enough. I mean, they have one, I'm not going to go into all the details, but they aren't nice. They aren't pretty, what they did to Colonel, or tried to do. And he finally said, I've had it. And he said to his attorney, I want this settled and I want it finished. They refused. They would say they were having a meeting, then they would postpone it, then they would do something else. He said, I'm tired of it. I want to get on with my life, and we're going to end it. So they advised the people in Tennessee that Colonel was going to bring a lawsuit in Nevada, in Las Vegas, where all of the partnership papers had been signed, and that he was going to sue the people who were talking about suing him because they had stopped this partnership from doing business, and that's illegal. They couldn't prove anything. They didn't go to court. They didn't take any definite legal steps to sue him. But the partnership in the meantime was just in limbo.
Right.
And when one partner cannot act in a partnership, the partnership reverts to the surviving partner, or the partner who can't continue it. And he said if they want to go to court, they're talking about it, but they won't come down to doing it, fine, let's go to court. I'll take it to them. I'll sue them, and I will end up with the whole thing. I'm the surviving partner. There's nothing they could do.
Yes, that's in.
Boy, for somebody who thought he knew it all, he doesn't know anything about contract law and stuff like that.
I can see he being the one that made it go on and on and on.
Yeah.
I can see him doing that.
Yeah, because he had too much vested in it.
They decided to pay Colonel and settle it. And that's what happened. He was the one who was paid, so who won?
Right.
It's just it.
The book that Alana Nash wrote, which I think is a piece of garbage, and I've said that actually on my show. She says the murder charges, and I am surprised that she can even make a claim like that.
Alana must have been totally desperate for something to sell her book. She shopped it around for years, and no publisher would touch it. That is just such a lame, silly thing to bring up. Here we go again. This is just something that she found. To me, it was a marketing device to get a little attention.
And it was used, too.
So sad that it doesn't even bear talking about.
Yeah, and she did use that, too. I mean, that was...
Of course she did.
Yeah.
But she also said in her book that I wanted to take over the estate in Colonel's place. Well, that's the most stupid thing I ever heard. I'm not a businesswoman, come on.
With him killing somebody, there's no proof.
No.
There's no proof. And I almost agree with her. Alana threw that in there to make everybody want to buy the book and that. There's no freaking... Now, Alana's not going to talk to me ever again, but I don't believe it. But
I think she threw anything she could in there.
But look what it did. Anybody that talks to anybody about the Colonel, and I'm not saying I want to kiss him, but They know that story right off bat. He killed somebody. You don't know that.
No.
Yeah, the Dutch police speculated, but they themselves said because there was no proof, it's all speculatory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
When did you leave RCA? We kind of danced all around everything because I wanted to ask you questions that haven't been answered. You know, there's a lot of Elvis things that everybody knows.
I'm going to have to limit our time. We could go on for days.
Yeah.
But
would it be possible to talk to you again, especially because I got to get in some.
Well, let's give us about another 15 minutes. How's that?
Okay.
And I'm going to let
now
you ask
she's
me
getting
questions,
hot.
and I'm not going to.
Okay. Țăhărăt.
What's that?
Now she's getting hot. Now she's chasing Joe to finish up because she's getting hot.
Yeah.
Tahoe. I need stories about the Sahara Tahoe.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of stories about Sahara Tahoe. Number one, I was working. You know, we all, even on the road, I used to laugh and say I saw all of these cities from a rear view mirror because the limo would pick us up at the airport. The driver would be driving. Colonel would sit me in the middle between the driver and him. I mean, the driver, myself, and the colonel would be sitting in the front seat of the limo. So all I was really seeing was that rear view mirror.
Okay. It doesn't make sense. You're in
No.
a limo and the Parker and his wife are in the front seat with the driver?
Who's in the back?
Well, I don't know. I don't know who's on the second. I don't know. I have no clue. Hey, but if it would make a shit difference who's in the back. What is the colonel that they're picking it up? What does he do? He wants to save some money, so he tells the limo driver, "I'm going to the front with you. I'm not going to use the back." You know, it's just
And she says she's sitting in the front seat, but she only sees the rear view. Mirror view.
Yeah. What's the driver looking at then?
You could see she's getting antsy.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
When she said limo and she sat in the center between her and the driver, I'm thinking, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
Loanne is a pick-me girl. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like to come back to what she said earlier. If the colonel supposedly said he was innocent, why didn't he hand over his tax returns?
Yeah. And then he went under he was a man with no gun. It was just fucking ridiculous.
We were working most of the time, but
It's a
lovely place. It's a wonderful place. Elvis loved it. But as far as any little stories about it, no, you'll have to ask some of his guys about that.
Do you remember the threats on Elvis's life?
Of course. And we took them very seriously. And there were a number. There were so many that people never heard of. And on the road, there were so many things that happened. I'll just go back to one venue. Colonel, of course, always went to, we would fly into a town way in advance of the show. We had a staff. Colonel and his people would go to the building to talk to the building manager. One of the RCA record tours men, Pat Kelleher, would go to the hotel, make hotel arrangements, etc. Someone else would contact the radio station or something. Everyone had their job to do. I would stay on the plane, and they brought their notes back to me, and I would type their notes at the next stop when they were out doing their business. And but the day of the show, Colonel and the whole group would be at the building to make sure that everything was ready and safe for Elvis. One of Elvis' men always traveled with us. And he would go into the suite where Elvis was going to be staying. He would make all the preparations for Elvis' comfort. He would make sure it was totally secure. And, of course, there would be the local police force, off-duty policemen who were hired to be there and make sure that, that was our security there. Well, at this one building, the police chief came to the colonel, and he said, "Colonel," he said, "we've had a phone call that there's a bomb in the building." And Colonel said, "Well, what are you doing about it?" And he said, "Well," "we're going to have to search the building." And this was, a couple hours before show. He said, "We're going to have to do a thorough search of the building, but you're going to have to pay a lot of extra policemen. It's going to cost you a couple $1,000s." And Colonel said, "Well, exactly what did the person say when they called?" And the police officer said, "Well, they said there's a brown paper bag and there's a bomb in it." And Colonel said, "Well, I'll tell you what." He said, "You can go ahead and have the building searched, but you're off-duty policemen. But we're going to be outside the building, and until you bring me a brown paper bag, the show will not go on, and you're going to have to get up on stage and explain to the people why there is no show." And the policeman looked a little strange and said, "You know, Colonel, we think that was a crank call. I don't think that." There were all kinds of things like that happened.
Did that happen a lot when people try to get one over on the colonel?
Oh yeah. Can you in it, please?
Okay.
I have another call coming in, and it's been coming in repeatedly. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of things happened.
Yeah. Now, when did you switch over from working for RCA? I mean, did you ever just start working for Elvis's crew and just for the colonel, or were you always working?
I was always working for RCA Records. I was never employed by the colonel or Elvis.
Uh-huh.
The RCA Record tours.
Wow.
In fact, they kept me on the payroll even after Elvis died. They kept me on the payroll for a couple of years.
Wow. Yeah, that was
because they were still doing, they were recycling the recordings and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I never worked. I was never on Colonel's payroll. Never.
Mm-hmm.
As his wife, I worked free.
Well, that was incredible after his death. I mean, you could not keep records inside stores. I mean, how did they ever keep up with it? I mean, being an RCA employee, how did they ever keep up with it?
Well, believe me, they just revved up day and night. They were making, they were pressing records and so forth.
Did they expect something like that to happen?
No. Joe, we didn't expect Elvis to die when he died.
Yeah, but it kept on going. I mean, it kept.
You want me to pause it, Joe?
No, I'm saying to her, basically, that's not what I meant.
Oh, yeah.
Buying and stores were selling out. And it was like, oh my God, I'd never seen such a, and I've never seen it again.
Well, no one predicted that would happen either. I mean, no one. It was a big surprise. It was a huge surprise.
Really?
And for Colonel and for all of us who loved Elvis, we were thrilled. We were just thrilled. Today, young people are starting to become fans, and I just think that's the most wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Name any big artist who's been dead 30 years, and you give that name to someone who's in their early 20s, and they'll just look at you like, who is that?
Right. Right.
But everybody knows who Elvis is.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about his everlasting popularity?
I think it's well deserved.
Yeah.
The man had an amazing voice, and he changed music.
Mm-hmm.
No, she doesn't say talent. She says
In the
voice.
early days, he was, again, if I could only take everyone back to the 50s, if I could take you back there, and you could see what it was like. Number one, when a parent told you to do something, you didn't say why or ask for an explanation. You did it, or you got punished.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about brutalizing children, no. But today, a parent says to the child, do something, and they might look them right in the eye and say, I'm not going to, and nothing happens. I can't tell you how rigid the social rules were back then. And if you did the kind of dancing back then the way they do today, the police actually would come into a dance area and arrest people for getting too close. It was just, and Elvis moving, that was, well, there were ministers who from the pulpit were saying, the devil is behind this. He's ruining our children. We've got to stop him. They would have big get-togethers where they would throw all of his 45 records in a fire.
Yeah.
It was just, it was horrible. And that people thought Elvis was ruining their children. You can't imagine that. It's so different now. It's just, I just can't even explain the difference that Elvis made. He brought a certain freedom to the young people that they had never had before. And when Colonel negotiated his deal with RCA Records, and Colonel was not his manager at that time, Colonel was hired by Elvis' parents because Bob Neal was Elvis' manager, and Bob Neal had shopped every record company that existed and was turned down.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And Elvis' parents hired Colonel to negotiate the record agreement. And until that time, the A&R man at a record company chose the material that an artist was to record. An artist would walk into the recording studio and the sheet music would be there. This is what you're going to record for this album. Colonel's contract for Elvis read that Elvis was to choose his material. And that made history.
Mm-hmm.
Today, can you imagine any of the recording artists today being told what to record? Not even seeing the stuff before they were expected to sing it?
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So, I mean, so many things the two of them did that just changed music. And I'm just so grateful they lived and they did this for us.
Mm-hmm. I thank you very much for calling me. If you ever get bored and want to talk to somebody, I am always home. Ain't got much of a life.
That was good too, Joe.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
That she lied here and there or came out with a story that she obviously had punched into her head by the Colonel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think he had set up stories that he told her to say that he had thought out that would, get her out of the question. So
Yeah,
a lot of spit takes on that, man. It's just stuff like I can't even remember them all. It's right there towards the end. It's just like it was popping one right after the other.
Mm-hmm.
And she got it back down and did the fade into how great he was and all that to take away from all the bullshit she just got through dishing out.
Yeah, and we all know those record plants you didn't start up at the drop of a hat. It was a process to start up those pressing machines. It wasn't just a case of, now we need to push out the extra 50,000 units of this album. Hello. Those things
Thanks
had to
a lot,
be...
Emma. Really appreciate it. Go ahead, Ken. I'm sorry.
No problem. Those machines were processed to get started up. They weren't just, call the record plant and start up 15, 20 machines and press a couple of thousand units. So did the Colonel know? No, he was setting up that shit the day he got the news that Elvis was no longer on this planet. He was already talking to the pressing plants because he anticipated exactly what was going to happen, and he was covering his own ass.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't the Colonel seen talking to Vernon, and he had him sign papers over for certain things?
I've heard something about that. I don't know the facts, so I really can't speak much on it.
But again, I was with Rick at the beginning of this, and I thought, oh, what a sweet lady. But no, she's joined the list with the rest of the gang.
Who's on the good side?
At this point, I think the only person really on the good side is Larry.
Good. That's a good answer. Since we're going to have him another interview with him, so that's a good thing. Unless somebody talks to him, he knows him so well.
Good one, Joe.
I'm sorry.
No.
Well, how'd you guys like it? That was a good interview. That was so anti negative that with D. Wasn't it D the last one we did?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And then we had Minty before that. That actually turned out better once I sped her voice up.
I thought this was a very good show. There was a lot of talking,
Oh yeah, there was a lot of chat in here. You guys were into this. I thank you. And we were floating around 40 for the show.
One thing I did notice though, Amy's gone quiet. You guys think she had the stroke? I hope not.
Yeah.
I can't take it anymore. Yeah.
Did we do Shirley Do? Did we do Shirley Do? No, not yet.
I was thinking of something. Who are we going to do next? And I kind of go off of the chat. So you really want to do Shirley Do next?
There was somebody we talked about. I'll go through it.
Koch.
I don't mind. I don't know anything about Shirley Do, so I'll learn something.
Is it Koch?
She's the one that was Marion Cox. Yeah, we haven't done that one yet.
Get out of here, Joe. Joe's on the same page as me. That's why he said it.
Yeah, I know he did.
Are we going to go there again, are we? Yeah, let's do Koch. Never mind. The girl, that woman.
The nurse. Let's do Marion.
Okay. We'll do Marion? Yeah, we'll do her.
Joe, did you ever talk to Barbara Hearn?
I think I did. I think I didn't.
I'll have to.
Sorry,
I'll take a look at the if you got it uploaded. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do Shirley Do next, right? Oh no, but Marion next, and then Shirley Do. Shirley Do.
You didn't say her last name.
What's
Marion
that?
In the morning.
You didn't say her last name because you didn't want to say Cox.
I said it enough. Is there something that stimulates you about me saying that, or?
No, it's just a good rip. That's all.
I know. Actually, it is. She's a nice lady.
No.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
She's still here. Amy's still here, Joe.
Her and Barbara. Oh no, that was in the other box.
Shirley just says it's in the book. You need to read the book. I saw it. Feck off. I almost said, I don't want your book, Shirley. Well, if that's all you can do is promote her book, I'll listen to it.
There you go. Amy said it for you, Joe.
Okay.
Right.
We say it wrong just so we can say the other word.
Funny true story. When in the hospital, his nurse was
Well, I listened to the Shirley interview. And what did he say?
It was a slime ball. What did he say? What?
Natalie, I listened to the Shirley interview, and it's just
her saying you have to check the book. You have to look at the book.
Oh, was it? Was it?
Yeah. Well, we'll do Marion next week, and I think we'll do Marion C next week.
Tracy, funny true story.
No. We got the best community in the world. And you know what? We've had a 2.5-hour live feed, and it was pretty much slime-free today, with except a few little backhanded shots there.
Oh, we still have time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, Joe. You have officially fallen off the edge.
Okay, real quick, so everybody will know. Of course, we got the gospel show tomorrow at 10. Then we got we got coffee date at 1 o'clock on Sunday. So which is tomorrow. So hope you guys can join us. More trivia, more ring pole. That sounds like almost like ring poles. Have you got some cream for that? Oh,
We going to hell.
nice. It's actually kind of nice not to oh, what the fuck.
We still have time.
I'm just thinking about some things that I never swear. I never swear. I never swear.
Yeah.
I proved that wrong real quick. What? Yeah, I some pretty good trivia for tomorrow. Last night Kim is Kim still in the house?
Yeah.
So Kim had an incredible set list for 10 songs. Really good songs. I mean, I love the picks she had. There was some. Well, everybody does. Everybody's got a different feel, but they're great songs, and it was a good set. So, yeah. But if you want a copy of the show, Kim, just let me know, and I'll send you. I record all the shows. I keep them for about a month.
Oh hell! Tracy's being serious. She said that story's true. I didn't know that. I can just hear Elvis howling on that.
Dr. Seaman, call. Yeah, we need you. We need you in room.
Harry Ball.
I'm not even going to say it.
Harry Balls.
I almost said it.
I really did have a friend called Harry Balls. I swear to God. All the crap he put up with in high school. Let me tell you.
Shame his poor wife.
Can you the Greek guy repeating how he's not against Smith and how many times he says it? Yeah, I'll have to do that.
Oh, I love it. Didn't the Smiths go after him at one time, and then he stayed?
I don't know if they really went. I mean, they just he's attacking Billy Smith, but he's got freaking Danny Smith's picture on the thumbnail. I'm like, dum 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 dum. It's been a kind of it's been a fun day, a relaxing day, and then seeing some of the. How long can you spend on one subject that's not really related to Elvis? Well, you're not really talking about Elvis. You're just talking about hate. I don't understand. Anyways, I'm wanting to ramp up some of the shows that we do, but it's going to be Elvis content, with the exception of one show. But I'm going to ramp this radio shows up a little bit. And then Blanchard Tool on Wednesday, and the next Friday, the book we do will be June Wanako's, The Twilight of I can't
Memory.
Yeah, so that'll be a good one. Nice, positive. Yeah, he's definitely. I don't care what he says. He's totally unhinged. He is just. I'm sorry. I hate to toot my own horn, but all of us that have been standing up to him are just really crawling underneath that skin.
Donna's picked on. Louis picked on.
Oh yeah, everybody's picked on. And you know what? The one thing that really pisses me off, if I'm picking, and I don't call it picking, I'm just calling it exposing. But the thing is you want to call it whatever you want that I'm doing. I don't care. But when you sit there and say that I'm doing it to somebody else, then I'm gonna give you an answer back, because all I've done is review Joe Sin's conversations. All I've done was listen to them and review them, which is what they do, what everybody else does. But to say that I attacked him personally is flat out bullshit. Just because I said one thing in a video that I didn't believe what he said. It doesn't mean that came from him. It's just the whole process of it's just hearsay. That's all it is hearsay, And they want to. So don't accuse me of picking on somebody I didn't do. I know nothing about Joe Sins, and I have no positive or negative viewpoints of him. All I have a negative viewpoint is that three-part epic miniseries that appeared last week. And so that's all I got to say. I talked more than I should. I know.
Good.
Shit, I made one comment on another channel and they gave him 3 shows. I know, it's absurd.
Yeah, that's what it's going to do for this one too. And then he's going to talk about the trolls.
Okay, what is that hum? There's a really bad hum going.
I hear it too. Sounds like
my wife decided to start mowing, and you've never seen her mow. My God. She won't let me mow anymore because of my problems, but
yeah,
I always loved to mow too. Really did.
Yeah, so we have on Blue Moon Radio. I've got a show that we're going to do next week. It's going to be more towards the middle of the day so that we can get, maybe a little bit more listeners to it. But we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to get on there and I'm going to read the first one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read an incident that involved Donna and Buddy, and it's the story of this grifting in 2003. So I'm going to read that story, then I'm going to read some comments. There's going to be an open phone line if anybody wants to call in. Anybody wants to join the chat in Discord, let me know if you're not part of Discord, and we'll make arrangements somehow. I'm working on a flat out just a chat. I need to create a little website for just the chat so anybody can chat after they've been approved and admitted into it. So anybody will be able to chat during the radio show. So that'll help out pick up some of the listeners. But I'm going to do that next week. If it hits, great. If it doesn't, no harm foul. We'll think of other ways. So I got a nice little advertisement for it.
Yeah, Cam and I are going to go off.
Are you?
Oh, see how many pictures we could find and all this. We're going to go off.
Yeah. What we'll need to do, I'll talk to Cam. I'm going to figure this out, how we're going to do it as far as hosts. Are Cam and I going to go both online at the same time, or are we just going to do it through the one challenge we do have, and it won't be a challenge because it's with all radio stations anyways. There's a 1-minute delay. So whatever I do, if anybody calls in, they can call anytime during the show. Of course, they'll have to put the volume down behind them because it'll be a feedback. But that'll all just come through the waves anyways, and it'll be like a normal radio show.
Cameron will be on the air with you talking, right?
Yeah, him and I link up through 𝗵𝗍 to broadcast through the radio show, and it comes out recorded. It's beautiful. Cool. And anybody else that I haven't been able to figure out how I can do a third person yet. Actually, yes, I can. I can do it on 𝗵𝗍. Whoever you can log in. So if anybody wants to come on the show and not even show your face, but you just want to come on, you can do it through a link. I could give you a link to do it. This is all going to be direct through Messenger on stuff like that, because I'm not just going to post it somewhere. It's just a trial, have some fun, but I'm also going to be doing little shows here and there. I've got a couple stories. I'm just going to put out a notification. Hey, join me on Blue Moon Radio. I'm going to share the story about this and that, and people can comment, whatever. I don't know. I hate that whatever, but I picked it up somewhere.
Well, I want to come in.
Well, you can.
Yeah, let me come in and talk. No, I want to talk too.
Okay. I'm going to step back. I'm going to correct something I said earlier. It's not going to be a 1-hour show. So We got Cam, we got Joe, and we got me.
Okay, it's up to you. Well,
No. I'm just kidding, buddy. You can come on anytime you want. Anybody
You
can
know that too.
with us, or they can just call in. You can call in through WhatsApp, direct line if you're in the States. You can call in through Discord, all that. There's different ways you can call in, and it'll be broadcast through the radio station.
okay. You can set it up for me.
Yeah, it's just you come here.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, you log in here. We've got I'll have to send you a different link for that. It'll take you to a studio that I use for the radio station.
Oh my
Yeah.
Because
Lord.
it doesn't have the chat and all that in here because this chat's for YouTube. Well, we're not going through YouTube.
But that's simple too. You just go back one page and you send him the link that opens at the dashboard. Then he can choose which studio he wants to go in, and then off your on.
Oh, really? Just go to
And well, he doesn't see that with his link.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying you got to send him that dashboard link.
He's got to get his Gmail fixed first. That's why we're waiting.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Because I sent it to him a couple times and he can't get to his Gmail. So anyway, we're talking business here. What else we got? That's pretty much it right now. I will say this: Cam and I got to talk about it, but we're thinking about changing the Friday night time in the show because there's so many other things we want to do. But if we're doing those shows late, it takes away from doing other stuff. We'll still do a 2-hour rock show, but we're going to do it more to where we get more listeners from the UK because when we started at 10, it's mid-morning for everybody else.
yeah.
I want to do a show where everybody can do it, and I want to do it on a weekend.
Cool.
So we're working on that. I got so anyways, gospel show tomorrow, coffee date off Monday. I'm going to have another update for those of us in the fan club group on Discord. If you notice, I put up a little video of where we stood, so check it out. Give me any comments or thoughts. And that's about it. Hey guys, I'm like probably a week, maybe 2 weeks done for my book. So I'm psyched. I just got a few things, and I'm going to do a manuscript to review and see what I'm excited about. I think it's coming out pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah. So, you guys, thank you, everybody. Thanks for making a great show today. Great chat, everybody. We love every one of you. You guys are awesome. Now we're sneaking up on 29,000 subscribers. So once we hit that, I'm going to do another little giveaway with a book or something like that. So,
Cool.
All right, guys, have a good evening. If you got, email me if you have any questions.
I gotta go potty.
Is that a question? Do I have to go potty?
Oh, no, I gotta go potty. So hurry up. Say goodbye.
What a way to end the show.
And a special thank you to our trolls that we know are hiding in the back row.
Yeah.